You may proceed.
Thank you, Worship. Mr. Inambao, I want to refer to count 14, that is the conspiracy theory. I'm in charge. Are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
All right. If I read the charge, it seems to me that the charge refers to the owners of eco-fuel investment. Do I read it right? Amongst others?
Owners of Ecofuel Investment CC, Erongo Petroleum CC, and NAMCOR,
Yes.
Namibia.
During your evidence, I didn't hear you saying there was a conspiracy connected to Mr. Willemse in respect of the owners of Ecofuel. Is it the owners itself or the company?
Well, at some point, the owners would also be charged. They are responsible for the actions of the entities.
Yes.
So we know that there were money that was paid to Mr. Willemse, which was paid from Ecofuel Investment CC into Quality Meat Supplies, and subsequent to that, it went into Mr. Willemse.
Okay. Now, the charge relating to the conspiracy charge, you would agree with me that that charge can only be strong if the other charges that are referred to in there, the fraud, the theft by false pretense, and the money laundering cases can be proven, correct?
Just repeat your question again.
You can only say you have strong evidence if the charges that is referred to in that charge, that is fraud, theft by false pretense, and money laundering, if they are strong, then the conspiracy becomes strong.
And we believe they are strong. And conspiracy is also strong because it's even the first one before the offenses happened.
Even the first one before the... You mean the first offense that was committed?
Because they planned first. So
Yes.
meaning they conspired.
And it is your evidence before court that Mr. Willemse started to conspire from October 2021.
As far as the evidence we have presented, the earliest evidence we could find is the documented evidence which relates to 26 October 2021, and which birthed the supply fuel agreement between NAMCOR and NAMCOR, and as a result thereof, they entered into the fuel, the asset purchase agreement.
Yes.
So as far as we look at those, the timeline is October 2021.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then want to deal with count 16. That is assisting another person to benefit from proceeds of unlawful activities. Are you there, Mr. Inambao?
I'm there.
All right. Now, the amount that is mentioned there, 327,577,463.90 cents. How is that amount made up?
Your Worship, I believe this amount is made up of the 274 million,
Yes.
which relates to the fuel that was supplied to both NAMCOR and Erongo.
Yes.
And then if you add the 53,212,000, it should bring you around to around about that amount. Because initially when the case was reported, the total exposure was 331, because the fuel supply was alleged to be 277 million. But with the reconciliation of the invoices, delivery notes, and so forth and so on, that amount of 277 came down to 274
Okay.
million.
But this amount exclude the debt of 73 million.
Yes, it's not included here, the 73 million. If you include it there, it will come to at least 400 million.
It will come to 400. That is maybe when this case started, that 400 was thrown around in courts, 400 million. Is that so?
No, in actual fact, we still believe the total exposure it's 400 million. In fact, let me not go there. Let me just leave it there.
Yes, because I'm only dealing with his involvement.
Sure.
And you have agreed that the 73 million has nothing to do with him. You also agreed in court that in terms of your investigation, the fuel supplied to NAMCOR also had nothing to do with him. He stands here for supplying fuel, in respect to fuel, for Irongo in an amount of roughly 50 million. Would that be correct? Did I summarize
but
it?
the total exposure that was supplied to Irongo is 238 million. But for now, in terms of the evidence,
yes,
it's around about 57 million.
Yes. So not the whole 200 is attributed to Mr. Willemse. Then we want to deal with count 17. That's the evasion of tax. Are you saying in that charge that for the period 2018 to 2019, 2020 and 2022, Mr. Willemse had, through his account, had 60 million. Do I understand the charge like that?
That's correct.
In other words, that would include 1 to 3 years prior to him becoming either a consultant or rather a permanent employee in 2022 with NAMCOR.
Your Worship, I cannot give the exact details, but Mr. Willemse was employed before by NAMCOR, and then from there he was let go, or the contract came to an end, and then he returned. Mm-hmm. So, but as far as the financial transactions, and this has nothing to do with his employment, salary. We are talking about the financial transactions that went through his account.
Yes, it also shows you how strong he was financially before coming to NAMCOR. Now, you said he failed to declare it. Are there any of the forms before court, what do you call those forms? Returns?
Your Worship, he did make declarations in some years. He submitted nil declarations in the sense that he was not having any income. Those forms I indicated in the examination in chief that we obtained the records during the investigations from NAMRA, in which those returns are there.
But you also, and that is undisputed, that as we stand today, he raised an objection to NAMRA regarding this amount.
Although it's not disputed, I did testify that after he was alerted by the assessment of NAMRA, he went and revised his returns.
It's not what a person should do.
If
your returns are incorrect, you go back, find invoices, look at this. You don't need to, or you can't revise. Is that what you say?
What I'm saying is, as far as we are standing today, his balance that is outstanding at NAMRA is at least over 20 million.
Pending the objection.
Whether that is the case, but in terms of what he had declared at that time,
yes,
versus the funds that moved across his accounts, he's liable to at least 20 million.
Pending the objection.
Of course, they've finalized, as far as we are concerned, they would only give that statement or that evidence once the assessment is full.
Yes, and then once the assessment is full, then it will then become apparent whether this amount is correct.
You are not hearing me.
Oh, sorry.
I'm saying the moment that we obtain a statement from them and the pieces of evidence,
yes,
it meant they have finalized. That is the only time they were able to, give us the correct figure. Before, in fact, he was given that whole process of, the assessment, the meetings and so forth and so on. So as far as we are concerned, the figure is 20 million. And according to NAMRA, they are finalized.
No, that's, sir, please. Who of NAMRA said that to you?
I'm not here to reveal the names of the witnesses. I'm telling you in terms of the evidence that we have. Otherwise, we're not going to come up with this figure. You're
not asked to reveal a witness. You asked who at NAMRA told you they have finalized it.
I said we have obtained statements, which includes all the records, including the invoices that your client had submitted to NAMRA.
Mr. Inambao, it is the very first time that we now, during cross-examination, hear from you, it was finalized. You had the opportunity to testify evidence in chief. It didn't come out.
Your Worship, I testified and I indicated in my examination in chief that we obtained the records which Mr. Willemse had submitted. As far as the evidence we obtained,
yes, as far as
the
the
assessment of Mr. Willemse is finalized, and that is the outstanding balance which he did not pay. And we know that during that period, he only declared income of a little over 1.2, if I'm not mistaken.
You are mistaken. How long did they give him to get all the necessary documentations?
In terms of their legislation, it was, in fact, that was what caused the delays, because they needed to make sure that they complied with the requirements in terms of that law. So that was done. I cannot tell you now how long, but we have, in terms of our evidence, documented every communication, every invitation, every meeting that was there to show that, he was given ample time in terms of how, the execution of that is required in terms of the law.
Mr. Inambao, I found that testimony for you disturbing. One, you say, they have ample time. Two, when I asked you about the time, I cannot say. And then you said ample time. It does not make sense. You don't have any evidence to prove to this court that it was finalized. Yet, Mr. Willemse has proved before this court that there is objection raised.
Whether he raised an objection, I think you are the one who's not understanding what I'm saying. I am saying in terms of the enabling legislation there is a time frame that is required.
What is
notifications and so forth and so on. Those has been complied with. I'm sure he could have given you all those invitations, notices and so forth and so on. Yes. Part of our investigations, we went as far as ensuring that what have you done step by step.
Yes. Yeah, again, as is usual, your evidence is just your word.
No, it's not my word. We
Yes.
have evidence. If that was not disclosed to you, I told you our functions are different. I gather evidence, and we have that evidence.
Yes,
There's no way I will come and lie in front of the court that we have obtained evidence when we didn't.
Yes, the court must also see that evidence. Now, you said there was a risk. I'm moving now to the grounds. You said there was a risk of abscondment for Mr. Willemse. You base that on the fact that, especially because he has dual citizenship. Is that correct?
That's correct.
What else? Is it that at the time of the arrest, did he try to run away?
He was hiding in the house.
Did he run away?
There was no way he could run away given the opportunity, the way he was hiding in that house.
Yes.
If he had the opportunity to run away, he would have run away.
Okay. So where did he hide?
He hid in his bedroom.
Did he hid under the bed, in a cupboard, on top of his shoe? Where did he hid?
Your Worship, when I testified, I said we were at the house of Mr. Willemse for almost 1 hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours before we could enter Mr. Willemse's his bedroom. Meaning,
I'm asking you, where did he hide in his apartment?
and I'm coming to that answer.
Yes.
By the time we got in that room,
Yes.
it's only after one of the colleagues climbed to see him in the bathroom. If it was not for that, he would not even have come out. We had to threaten to use a force to enter his room.
So did he hide in the bathroom or the bedroom?
First he was in the bathroom. The bed, there's no way he can fit underneath the bed there.
So where did he hide? In the bedroom or in the bathroom?
I've answered. He came and opened the door.
Oh.
But when we got there, he was in the bathroom.
Yes. Is it Is it a crime in Namibia these days to go use a toilet?
Even if it's not a crime to use a bathroom, when somebody from the police knocks on your door and introduce themselves, if you are busy in the bathroom, the least you can do is tell them, I am coming, I'm in the bathroom.
Yes.
That he didn't do.
So that is his hiding. He didn't tell you he was in the house while you know he's in his house, and that is how he hid. Please,
Mr. Isaac, I cannot come to your house looking for you and for 1 hour, 30 minutes or 2 hours you are there in the room. That is a sign that you are hiding.
I thought you said yesterday 3 hours. It's tomorrow, I hope it's going to be
you had
5 hours.
You had me wrong.
I heard you wrong. So you're telling me the Namibian police will wait 1 hour and 30 minutes from a person that they have a big fear of escaping and simply wait in front of the door. Mr. Inambao, I tell you that is utter nonsense. That is nonsense.
I think what you are saying is nonsense because I'm telling you I was at the scene. Firstly, when we came there, we needed to verify that he was in the house. We needed to make sure that we closed all the other points of entry or exit from the house. We needed to make sure that before we braked, before force was used, that we have exhausted all the other avenues. We needed to search all the other, to look into all the other rooms. And that was done.
Oh, so it's not him that caused you that delay, it's you yourself start searching before, make sure there's no exit. Mr. Inambao, my instructions are very simple on this issue. You did not wait 1 hour, 30 minutes, or as you testified yesterday, 2 hours.
Your instructions are wrong. And I'm telling you because I was at the scene.
My instructions further is that Mr. Willemse did not hide. He, as a human being, is allowed to use his bathroom without fear of the police. And that's what he did.
Although he's allowed to use the bathroom, the moment somebody is in your house and they are knocking at the door, at the room door, the least he should have done is to announce himself and say he's coming.
Yes.
Because officers identified themselves.
Yes.
And he remained silent in that room.
But you knew he was inside. You knew that.
The only time we found out he was inside that we could verify is when the officer climbed to check to see in the window.
Mr. Inambao, my further instructions on this issue is that his bathroom did not have a door.
Whether the bathroom did not have a door, you must understand that that room, it's having aluminium windows which are tinted. That's the word I was looking for. So meaning from the outside, you cannot see in the room. But the bathroom door, the bathroom window doesn't have. So we didn't see him through the door. We saw him through the window.
Yes.
That's how we saw him.
So your testimony is that he was taking too long, but your testimony is not that he tried to run from you.
I didn't say he was taking too long. He was literally hiding in there to make us believe that he was not in that room.
Was his car there?
One vehicle was not there and the Jeep was not there.
Any of his cars there that you took illegally?
I've just answered your question.
No, answer it.
I've answered you.
What is the answer? Repeat.
I said one car was there and the Jeep was not there.
Yes, always something extra with you.
No, but I thought you asked me if his car was there, and I know he had two cars which we know.
Yes, so the answer was yes, his car was there.
No, but the Jeep was not there.
Now, why did you take the vehicle? By the way,
we took the vehicle because we believed it could be one of the assets, and we needed to verify the ownership of that asset. The ownership of that vehicle.
Since June 2024, you've been investigating a combined joint force of 9 police officers. You didn't know a year after that the vehicle is not in his, or is in his name. Is that so?
That vehicle is registered in South Africa And sometimes it's very difficult for you to get information from other countries when you don't have the number plates and VIN numbers and so forth and so on.
But what investigation do you fear? Before we come to that, when the courts are faced with a possible risk of abscondment, usually there are conditions placed upon traveling. What is your response to that?
Our response to that is, as indicated when I testified, that we are not here to agree to any conditions. In fact, if you look at the 2 passports of Mr. Willemse, each of them has a different place of birth. Whether you have, a person can only be born at one place.
Mr. Inmau, I'm sure your knowledge of our laws in terms of dual citizenship is not only limited, but is misplaced.
No, Mr. Isaac. If you are born in Keetmanshoop,
yes,
whether you go and become a German citizen,
yes,
your place of birth will still indicate Namibia, Keetmanshoop.
Where?
On your ID for German.
Doesn't matter whether you're born before independence or after. Is that what you say?
It doesn't matter. The place of birth does not change. You cannot tell me that when he was born, he was in the middle of Orange River, that one part was in Namibia and one part was in South Africa. He was born in Keetmans. That's what stands on the Namibian ID. And on the South African passport, it's something different.
Yes, so that is, okay, that means what? That you don't know whether he's a citizen or not?
No, what I'm saying is the truth, or to be honest, it's something that you don't just tell. It's something that you need to live. So in those documents, there's already something is not right.
Mr. Inambao, what is not right?
You can only be born in one, you can only be in one place at the time of birth.
During your investigations, did you investigate this? Because you knew he had dual citizenship since June 2024.
Since June 2024. I didn't testify to that effect.
Did you know?
I knew that he used to travel frequently to South Africa.
Sir, did you know he had dual citizenship since June 2024?
If you go to Home Affairs, you don't find the records of the South African citizenship. There you find the Namibian passport and the Namibian ID.
Did you, during investigations, establish where he was actually born?
When we arrested him, we took the passports. And on the passports, we noted that there's 2 different places of birth on each one of them.
Mr. Inambao, I'm sure we're going to be again tomorrow with you. So I'm going to try ask you again this very straightforward question. During your investigations, could you establish where Mr. Willemse was born?
And I've answered you. The ID shows he was born in Keetmanshoop. That's what the ID shows. That's what his passport shows.
We've made a certified copy of the birth certificate. Your birth certificate is the one that tells you where you're born, correct? I didn't want to go this path, but it seems to me that your inability to answer questions put forward to you take me now through.
I think if you don't like my answers, and then you just don't like my answers, I think I'm busy giving you the answers.
Yes. Mr. Inambao, I'm not saying that I don't like it, I said your inability to answer.
I think you don't like the responses that you are getting. While
we're looking for it, you said he was a frequent traveler to South Africa, that you knew?
Definitely.
All right. There's a copy of the passport that was provided to us. Is that the full copy of the passport?
I believe it's the full copy.
According to the evidence before court, when Mr. Willemse was cross-examined, it seems to me that the last frequent traveling was in June 2024. Do you dispute that? Or must I show you the passport?
You are totally wrong. He was out of the country this year.
I'm saying the frequent traveling.
I cannot confirm that without looking at the record. But what I'm saying is, I know as of this year, he was at least a couple of times out of the country.
When was he out of the country?
Give me the passport, then I will show you.
We'll give you the copies of the passport that was given to us. Maybe the court will give Mr. Inambao the color copy.
Your Worship, if you look at the second last page of the document, you would see that in the center of that page, you would see there's a departure stamp from the side of Namibia dated 21 January 2025. Mm-hmm. And right on top of it, you would see that there's a re-entry into Namibia. I'm not going to follow the whole chain, but you would see right on top of that rectangular departure, you would see there's also on top of it, there's a re-entry in Namibia, meaning he returned on the 25th of January 2025. And if we go to the last page, Your Worship, just looking at the order here, I can see a departure of the 2nd of February. And then from there you would see an entry back in Namibia on 26 February 2025.
And after that?
After that, you would see another departure on 18 March 2025. And an entry, almost the circular, the round stamp on the left part of the page. You would see 20 March, which is an entry back in Namibia.
And then after?
And then from there you would see another departure on the 30th of April 2025. And a re-entry on the 3rd of May 2025, Your Worship. From there you will see a departure on the last page, Your Worship, which is page 37. You would see another departure of 18 June 2025 and an entry back in Namibia on, I believe that is 19 June, Your Worship. Just on this page, in fact, from January, at least it's more than how many times? 4 or 5 times. And that is frequent.
How long did he stay there in South Africa?
At the time, the longest one which I can see is the one from, is it 19 Feb to 26? That would be about 7 days or 5 days. So you can see it was not more than a week every time this was happening, at least. Let
So-
me see. No, wait. Let me
Okay.
just verify.
Oh,
The longest one, most probably. No. 18 to 19 March. The longest one. At least, on average, a week.
I'm not asking average. You have the dates count. You can't count the one.
There are so many entries here. You want to give me 10 minutes so that I can sit and put them one by one, and I'll be able to do that. But I've just read the dates as to how he traveled.
So you say, let's use your evidence, average a week.
Yeah,
Stay.
average 5 to 6 days.
Never longer than a month.
This is just this year.
Never longer than a month.
I said this is just this year, so I cannot confirm all the other times.
For this year, not longer than a month.
At least that's what I'm seeing there.
All right. Does that show you that he wants to relocate back to South Africa?
Relocating to South Africa is very high on our agenda, because he, as you indicated the other day, he sold his properties. That money is still in South Africa. The farm he has here, which he acquired in 2024, it's on higher purchase. So there's nothing that keeps him here. So if he wants to go, he can go.
Is it? There's nothing keeping him here. So what is pulling him that side? What properties does he have? You tell us.
It's not about properties. It's about the consequences of this case.
His children, he testified, is studying South Africa, but when they're done, they come stay here because Namibia is their home. Can you dispute that?
I cannot dispute that.
He says his mother has been staying here since somewhere in the 70s. She's here. Can you dispute that?
I cannot dispute that.
He says that his property, and I think you forget other property, probably conveniently. He's got flats in Rehoboth, it's not so.
I know about it.
Does he owe them property? Does he owe the property in Rehoboth?
Yes.
How much, Mr. Inambao? I'm now telling you, you are under oath. How much balance does he owe on the property of Rehoboth?
I didn't look at the balance of the property. The question is, do I know that he has a property in Rehoboth?
No,
and I said
asked,
yes.
I asked, does he owe on them?
No, I don't know.
You must find out. I put it to you, he doesn't own anything on his property.
He doesn't own anything.
Oh, do you not understand?
No, you are the one that was wrong, because you said own, not own.
The property there is his. No one can come and take it. He doesn't owe anything.
But the value
on
of that property is not the same with the value of the house properties he sold in South Africa.
But you agree that he has that property?
I answered that question already.
There's also a farm called Drukvlakte. Do you know that he also owes that property? Meaning it's his. He owes no one.
I know. And part of the money that was used to finance that farm is from some of the proceeds that we have been talking about here.
Yes. But you agree with me, as it stands now, he has no fixed property in South Africa.
That was the choice he made, because he didn't think that this case would reach this stage where we are. Now, given the fact that we are here at this stage,
Mr.
easy.
Inambao, I just asked, do you agree he doesn't have any fixed property? That was a really simple question. Can you just answer that question?
I cannot agree with you until I have evidence to prove that there's nothing else other than the two assets which he said he sold.
Okay. As far as your evidence is concerned today, do you have any evidence that he has property, fixed property in South Africa?
As far as our evidence is concerned in terms of intelligence, he has properties. Although he indicated that he sold them, there is no transfer of the deeds that he produced before this court to show that indeed those assets were sold.
Yes. Is that the same properties that was the email that was provided to? Are you referring to, did your intelligence apparently confirm as those two properties?
Yes, I believe it was those two properties.
Okay. Mr. Inambao, I want to give you a copy of Mr. Willems's birth certificate. And one for the court. Mr. Inambao, are you there?
I'm there.
All right. So, in terms of this birth certificate, where is Mr. Willemse born?
As indicated on his passport, Keetmanshoop.
I'm not asking the passport. I'm asking in terms of this birth certificate, where was he born?
And I've just answered you. It's not any different from the one which is on the passport and the ID.
In terms of the birth certificate, where was the accused born?
Mr. Isaac, you saw it and I answered it. I said Keetmanshoop is the same on the ID, it's the same on, it's the same on the passport.
Yes.
So that does not change, which shows in terms of the records that he has in Namibia. He was born in Keetmanshoop.
Yes.
So even the South African ID and the passport, they were supposed to show that he was born in Keetmanshoop, Namibia.
Is it?
Yes.
Where do you get that authority from?
This is not the first investigations which we have conducted where we see people who has dual citizenship. The place of birth does not change. Even the people here in Namibia who were in exile and they were born in Zambia and Angola, you would still find that place of birth will show Zambia and Angola.
Mr. Inambao, did you consult any authority in Namibia and or South Africa to confirm that claim of yours?
That one we confirmed is Home Affairs. Place of birth does not change. A person is only born once.
In the South African ID, did you consult any authority in South Africa as to why in the South African ID it says RSA?
As far as we are concerned, in terms of the records of the Namibian institutions, he was born in Keetmanshoop. So when he obtained those documents from South Africa, it was supposed to reflect the truth.
No, your truth. Luckily, it's not the court's truth. When did he apply for the? Did you investigate? When did he apply for the ID? You were in possession of his ID since arrest. Before you hand it over to myself during that bail application, is it correct?
That's correct.
When did he apply for that ID?
Well, I have to look at the ID to tell you when the ID was issued.
As I give you the ID. If you may just give the witness the ID. The original is handed to the witness, although they have certified copies. While we're on that point, where does it say where are you born? Where is Mr. Willemse born? On that ID?
South Africa, RSA.
RSA. Does it tell you which place in RSA? Republic of South Africa. Does it say?
It says RSA. I believe I answered you already.
It only says RSA. It doesn't
That's
give you
what it
a
says.
specific place like any place that you were born in South Africa, correct?
I've just confirmed that.
Thank you for confirming. Yes.
You were asking the date of issue.
When did he apply?
No. You asked me when this. Okay, fine. Let's
Did I not ask you when did he apply for the identification card? Then you said you have to see it, sir.
And I'm going to answer you.
Yes, please.
This shows the date of issue. From this, we will not be able to know as to when the application was done.
Oh, I see.
And when I responded to you, when I was saying, if I see the card, I said, then I'll be able to tell you the date of issue.
No, you didn't say that. I asked,
Then
my question was...
It was said.
My question was...
Mr. Isaacs, perhaps.
Thank you, Your Worship. Can I just proceed? Because it seems to me that a witness is allowed to say something that I didn't ask him.
You
We
asked
can
the
go on the
question
record.
and the witness answered it.
We can
And
go on
now-
the record,
No,
Your
no,
Worship.
no.
I didn't ask when it was issued.
But he
when did he apply?
indicated when you say that when did he apply for the ID?
Yes.
He said, I have to look at the ID to see when it was issued.
Yes. But that is not... Let me ask you this. Is the issuing an application the same date?
No.
So, by looking at the, as you said, I need to look at the ID to look when it was issued, cannot answer my question.
Of course, and you know I will not be able to provide you the answer because you know at some point South Africa also changed their identification cards. So this could simply mean if I go back right now to Home Affairs and go and obtain a new ID, it will show that I obtained a new ID today.
Yes.
Because that's the date it was issued.
Yes,
but it doesn't mean that is the first time I got the identification card.
That is why I was wondering, why do you want the ID to answer my question? Because you know already.
I didn't ask for the ID.
You may ask if the birth certificate will be received by the court. I think I still have a very long time with this witness. If there's no objection.
There is no objection. I put our exhibit H now. Unless there are other documents, that will be exhibit H.
You would agree with me
Okay,
that...
the exhibit of
sorry, Bishop.
the birth certificate of Mr. Cornelius Petrus Willemse is marked Exhibit H.
Thank you. You agree with me that whatever is put on that identification card is by the South African authorities and not Mr. Willemse? Do you agree?
I don't agree. If the authorities are the ones who insert the information on the card, it means it's dependent on the input that was provided for, on the documentations that was used in order for them to register that ID. So meaning there should have been an application form which was completed either by Mr. Willemse or somebody else.
Can you say it is Mr. Willemse for a fact?
That's why I said someone else at the end of the
sentence. Can you say for a fact that it was Mr. Willemse?
I believe I've answered that question.
Let's proceed. We still have a long way. One of the grounds which the state object is that the fear of interference with investigations. Do you agree?
Most definitely.
Which investigations are these?
I mean, we are here because of a case that Mr. Willemse is accused of having committed offenses, and that is the investigations we are talking about.
Can you be specific?
The charges which you have made me to read here, that is the investigations we are talking about.
It's very broad. Is it possible for you to narrow or give specific?
I think your question was also broad. You should have at least given me a direction as to which aspect of investigations I needed to provide you an answer on.
But Mr. Inambao, the grounds of objection is not me. The grounds of objection is by the state. I just gave you the grounds of objection by the state. So maybe you must ask my learned friend why he was so broad. Because that is not I didn't do that. Can you answer the question, please?
Your Worship, as I indicated in my examination in chief yesterday and day before yesterday, investigations are still ongoing, in which, among others, we are following each one of those transactions so that we can make proper connections. Your Worship, I've also indicated some of the records, some of the evidence we used here is evidence that was obtained after the arrest of the accused persons. Witnesses are still being traced. Transactions, Your Worship, are still being followed due to the complexity of money laundering that was employed in this case. We know that there are still suspects of which one of them was, ran away as a result of the action or the conduct of Mr. Willemse.
You can proceed. I'm still listening. You can proceed, sir. I'm still listening.
It's your turn to proceed.
Sorry?
It's your turn
Are you
to
done?
proceed.
Okay. So, you indicated to the court that you need roughly 4 to 5 months to complete, correct?
It can be longer than that even.
I just ask a simple question, whether this is what you said to the court.
I
You couldn't
said,
even answer a very straightforward question. I ask you, did you say that you need 4 to 5? I'm asking you that question.
I said, given the amount of work that we have put in from the time the case was reported, I believe 4 to 5 months we can come to the finalization of this case. And hence I'm saying, adding to what you were saying, hence I said it could be more. I simply added to what you were saying.
Are you done?
I'm waiting for you.
All right. So, how would Mr. Willemse's continued incarceration assist with your investigation?
It will assist to ensure that, number one, he stands trial because he's flight risk. Number two, it will make sure that he does not interfere with any investigations. I did say when I testified, we saw money from the money that we are following. Some of that money went to finance the properties that he was having in South Africa. So all those are avenues that we still intend exploring.
But Mr. Inambao, the money trail that you are following are in bank accounts. Do you agree?
Bank accounts, and some of that money was used to buy assets.
Yes. But you follow the money. You already have these bank accounts in your possession. It's not so.
You know, the idea is not only to follow the money. It's to connect activities and the people. I'm still answering.
Sorry?
You know?
Yes, proceed, please.
Thank you. Given the fact that it was him transacting, he knows to who he was transacting. So he knows the nature of the transaction. So it's very easy to compromise those people where the money was going.
What is his relationship with these people?
When you follow the money, we don't know what is the relationship between him and the people because we are talking about following the money.
No, but you're not only talking about following the money. Did you not hear yourself saying that he can influence these people? Did you hear yourself say that?
Where the money was going.
Yes. Did you hear yourself saying that?
Yes.
So
and
I'm
I was
asking-
referring to where the money was going.
So I'm asking you again. What is the relationship of the accused with the persons where the money went?
That's why we said investigations is still ongoing.
That's your answer.
Yes.
All right. What time did Mr. Malema go over the border or escape?
I can't tell you the exact time right now, but from the time that Mr. Willemse made a phone call, it was within less than an hour that Mr. Malema crossed the border.
Where was Mr. Malema when he allegedly received the call?
He was in Ondangwa, which we know is about 60, 70 kilos from there to Chicago.
You mean from the border?
Yeah.
Okay. You have confiscated the phone of the applicant, correct?
That's right.
And you made a reference, or rather you indicated to the court there was a phone call made to Mr. Malema by the accused. Is there any proof before the court?
Your Worship,
As we said.
that is why we took the phone, so that the phone can be examined. Because when we were there, Your Worship, there were phone calls coming from Malema, there were messages and calls coming from Mr. Mulunga.
How many phone calls came from Mr. Malema?
I can't confirm how many calls were there, but there were calls coming. In fact, I believe one of the staff members or one of the officers, as they were holding the phone, they were even showing us, Victor is calling.
All right, so you have someone saying Victor was calling, but you don't have credit evidence.
No.
That-
We saw the phone ringing, Victor was calling, messages were coming in, messages were from Victor and Mulunga as well.
What did the message say from Mr.
The phones
Victor?
are locked.
What did the message say? Or did you see the message?
The common sense dictates that if a phone is locked, you will not be able to read the message, but you would be able to see the message coming in. And as well the call, you'll be able to see it registering on the screen. In terms of the evidence, we are not there to open the messages of people's phones, on people's phones, or answer them.
You've also confiscated the laptop of the applicant, correct?
That's correct.
Yesterday you indicated that what is that thing that you said was year 2025, so you are of the opinion that it's a new laptop.
Yes, that's my opinion based on the sticker which is on the device.
So what did you want to tell the court with that information? That it's a new laptop. What's the relevance of that?
That is the only identification mark which is on that laptop.
I hear you, but
Yes.
what is the relevance?
I believe.
Can I just complete my question?
Sure.
What is the relevance of you telling the court that it's a new laptop?
I believe there was a question which was asked, and as I was giving the description of the laptop, or rather as I was explaining, I said yes, notably on that laptop there is a sticker dated, I believe, is 27 May 2025.
All right. So other than telling the court that date, there's no relevance of telling the court of that.
I'm trying to remember, hence I'm saying there were other questions which were asked before I answered that one. And I believe you will be able to assist me as to which questions were asked before that one.
As a witness, you must listen, but you are on evidence in chief. I think Mr. Basson can pick that up.
Oh, yes, I remember. I think it was said that there are documentations on the laptop for transactions which happened in 2022. And hence, when I testified, I said, but also it's important to note that even if Velemse is alleging that there are documents, the sticker on that computer is for 2025.
Mr. Inambo, I'm sure that your IT knowledge is almost zero when it comes to computers.
I believe I'm better than you.
Are you saying to me that if I have a computer bought today, I cannot transfer any of my data from an old computer to that one?
One can. And that is why we took the laptop, so that we can examine it.
So what is the relevance of telling the court it's a new laptop? If you already know that.
It might not be relevant to you, but it's also possible that if the data was not migrated to that phone, those records might not be there.
How long have you been with the laptop now?
I've been as long with the laptop from the day Mr. Velemse was arrested.
He was arrested in, I think, June. Around about the beginning of June. How far did you come with extracting information from the new laptop?
Forensic examination is a complicated process, and sometimes we need to do verifications. And once the verification is done, then analysis needs to be performed. So as far as we are concerned, the cell phone and the laptop, they are being examined, and the data is being interrogated.
Who examined the laptop? Is it your department or forensics where Mr. Becker is?
And hence I said there is a verification. In some instances, we do the acquisition ourselves, but in order to have a second verification, we sent it to NAMCOR. So like in this regard, that laptop is with NAMCOR.
When was it sent?
I don't have the records for me to tell you the exact date when it was sent. But it was obviously sent after we had conducted the initial examinations.
That's after June.
Mr. Velemse, I believe, was arrested in July.
July. How long will that process take?
I cannot determine how long it will take. Because if evidence is found supporting the criminality, it means it will be kept as an exhibit until the case is finalized, because that is the rule of evidence. The integrity of the piece of evidence must be maintained from the date of seizure until the case is finalized.
Mr. Inambao, I did not ask you a rule of evidence. I know the rules of evidence. That's why I'm a lawyer. I simply ask you, how long will it take to do the extraction?
I appreciate the fact that you say you know the rule of evidence. It's because you know, Mr. Isaacs, evidence must be, integrity must be maintained.
I don't have
So,
problem
and for
with that.
now, I'm saying once the results are received, and if there's evidence supporting criminality,
How long?
that's why I can't tell you how long.
Okay, that's the answer. You don't know. Mr. Willems says there are documentation that will also help his case. Not only in the bail application, but also his criminal matter. That's on the laptop, but you refuse to give him access. Would that be correct?
We didn't refuse to give him access. Giving him access or giving yourself access when you asked, it means we are compromising the integrity of that piece of evidence. So, and what I know in terms of evidence is at the end of the day, that disclosure will be made. It will be given to him as well to prepare for his defense.
Yeah, but
So I believe he's not being compromised in any way. We are making sure we do what we are supposed to do as law enforcement. We collect a piece of evidence, have it analyzed, get the results, and the results will be shared, whether it's to support the criminal element or not, or whether to support Mr. Willemse.
yes, I understand that, but also one of the grounds is that the state has a strong case, so there might be information on the laptop that would assist Mr. Willemse to show to the court that you don't have a strong case because the prosecutor keep on asking on, where's this document, where's this document? Those documents is a possibility you can find on the laptop that you refuse access to Mr. Willemse.
Your Worship, I disagree, because those records were already requested by NAMCOR. I'm sure they would have been provided if they were on that laptop.
You disagree?
But of course,
Can you please give me a list of documents requested by NAMRA?
I cannot give you the exact list that was requested, but I know as far as the transactions are concerned, he was asked to justify the income. So meaning, among others, he needed to provide a list of his expenditures, and I know that he provided invoices
You also,
and agreements, among others, which I've gone through.
yes. You further testified that, one thing is for certain, you have both these passports in your custody, correct?
That's correct.
Which was handed to you after it was requested from Mr. Willemse. Would that be correct?
That's correct.
Did at any stage try to hide these passports?
He had no choice because we were going to go through his bags.
Did he at any stage try to hide these passports?
No.
Mr. Willemse was one of the accused or the suspects that was already mentioned back in April 2022, rather 2024, when you received the police docket, correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Willemse indicated that he already knew that there was investigation on at least the deposits that he made by the police. Can you dispute that? long before his arrest.
Can you repeat the question?
Mr. Willemse already knew that the police are investigating a case against him, specifically a criminal case, and specifically asking questions or investigating the deposits in his account.
Your Worship, as I indicated, the case which we received from NAMCOR had nothing to do with the financial affairs of Mr. Willemse. So I doubt if that statement is correct, because there were two allegations in the docket that we received from the police. It's the allegations of the procurement of the assets from NAMCOR and the supply of fuel. So that statement is totally incorrect.
Did he also say that, did the case docket not say that he received some sort of gratification?
No.
So, what did the complainant say in that case?
I've just explained the allegations a minute ago.
He said there was corruption.
Yes.
Mr. Willemse did what? He sold, he was corruptly selling, buying service stations.
Corruptly supplying fuel to NAMCOR and Erongo. Those were the allegations. That was the first one, to the value of 277 million initially.
May I pause there quickly? So it didn't say he received a gratification for doing that?
Yes. So the part of the gratification, it came out during the investigations.
I see. Rightly or wrongly, whether or not you are correct, which I most certainly submit you are not, you cannot dispute that at some point Mr. Willemse, before his arrest, knew about the investigation against him. You cannot dispute that.
Whether he knew or not, I cannot confirm. But I know that all the people that were arrested in this case, they didn't think it was going to get to this stage. Because the day that we arrested Mr. Willemse, the only thing that I remember him saying is, "No, but why are you arresting me? This is it's a civil case." So if that's what he was saying, I doubt he knew there was a criminal investigation going on.
But if a case is registered with the police, surely any person is reasonable to think that might be arrested. If Mr. Willemse knows. It's not so.
The allegations that you said Mr. Willemse told you are totally different from the allegations that we received. Maybe that is a different case he was referring to.
You testified you had difficulty in tracking down Mr. Willemse, is that correct?
That's correct.
Since June 2024, or when did this difficulty start?
Your Worship, I said investigations, or rather the police docket was received on the 12th of June. At the point when we gathered sufficient evidence, we knew that, we could not find a place where Mr. Willemse was, because at some point we knew he was in South Africa before 18 June or 18 May. We knew that he had traveled to South Africa. And we knew that at some point he started living in Windhoek, but there was no listed address.
With the mighty ACC, surely you know at some point he went to South Africa. Why not just simply see the Home Affairs and see when he's traveling and then when he's back arrested?
The challenge with that, Your Worship, is Mr. Willemse has 2 passports, and the fear was, should he have used the South African passport, for example, to enter Namibia, we would not have those records, at least from a quick one.
But why did you not investigate that?
No, but we investigated. That's why we found him and arrested him at the opportune time.
Okay. So the day that you arrested him, that's the day that you found him?
That was the opportune time for us, and that's the day we found him.
Did you speak to the landlord and ask how long he was there? How long was he renting there?
We spoke to the landlord after, because if we didn't know where he was staying, there was no way for us to know who was the landlord.
I didn't ask that. In respect of that property, did you find out whether he was renting or owning that property?
He was renting.
For how long?
I believe that was the first month.
Did you stake out the house? He wasn't home the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the sixth.
Your Worship, I said we were looking for him. All we knew is he was somewhere in Auckland Park at some point. That's why we had to deploy a number of officers actually scouting to see. And the moment we knew and realized this was the house, as I said, that was an opportunity which we capitalized on. There was no reverse.
Did anyone alerted Mr. Willemse that you are coming?
Had he known we were coming, I'm sure he would have gone to South Africa just like the way Malema disappeared.
You never had spoke with Mr. Malema about this case prior to Mr. Willemse's arrest?
I testified that we didn't speak to the suspects because the moment you speak to a suspect, it means you need to provide them with their rights, and then they can always elect to remain silent. So we gathered the evidence, and when there was sufficient evidence, we went for an arrest.
Okay. You further testify that, or rather, one of the grounds of the state is that there are other suspects, further suspects, yet to be arrested. That you agree with, right?
That's correct.
Does Mr. Willemse know these suspects?
Your Worship, I already indicated that the transactions are well known to Mr. Willemse.
Sorry?
So the transactions that were coming into his account or going from his account are well known to him. I mean, this was one big family. So they know one another.
Does Mr. Willemse know these suspects that still need to be arrested? The other people are called accused.
I cannot confirm if he knows them. But as far as the evidence that we are having, he ought to know who are the people that he was busy dealing with at the time when the offense was happening.
You'd agree with me that a person can only interfere with something if he has knowledge of it. For instance, in this case, Mr. Willemse can only interfere with suspects that he knows are suspects, for a fact.
I disagree with you. He knows the transactions. He knows the people he was dealing with. And it's easier. It's just like the day that we arrested him. Why did he individualize the two and call them? And that is the type of interference that we are talking about. Had he not interfered, in fact, that's why Mr. Mulunga was waiting for us. I mean, he was waiting for us at his house.
And Mr. Mulunga didn't escape?
No, he didn't.
Oh, I see. The one that he called. He called two people, according to you. One escaped, one didn't escape.
The other one was close to the border. The other one was in the center of the country.
To date, you cannot provide those records of the call, correct?
Your Worship, these calls were made via WhatsApp, and that is the reason why we are having these phones forensically examined, so that we can present this evidence during the trial.
Okay. You also testified, or let me put it this way. According to Mr. Willemse, the police and the ACC, yourself included, knocked at his door before 11 o'clock, around about 10 to 11 in the morning. And he was arrested 21 minutes past 11. What do you say about that?
That sounds correct. I never specified the time when I testified as to when we got there. I said we were there at least for an hour, 30 minutes to 2 hours.
Oh, we are back now to 2 hours.
But that's the only thing I've been talking about, unless you misheard me.
I didn't. Mr. Williams also said that he wasn't asked about his medicine at the time of his arrest. There at the house.
Just repeat your question.
Mr. Williamson say that at the time of his arrest at the house, he wasn't asked about medicine.
That's correct. And I confirmed that yesterday also in my evidence.
Oh. Okay. Let's stick to that evidence then.
Understood the question.
What is the question, Mr. Isaacs?
I don't understand why my learned friend say that, because if he doesn't like the answer,
For the interest of the court, what is the question?
Mr. Inabau, do you remember the question?
If we had asked him about his medication,
Yes.
and I answered
arrest.
it in a positive way, because we had asked him if he uses any prescribed medication, and I testified about it yesterday.
Well, the record will reflect what the record reflects. The witness did not indicate that he didn't understand the question for the interest of the court. I'm sure he didn't pick that up. Now, it is a fact that Mr. Willemse has a South African account, transactional account, correct?
Your Worship, I haven't received the documentations relating to the nature of accounts, so I cannot confirm whether indeed it's a transactional account.
Well, the prosecutor put it to him. Where did the prosecutor get that information? Do you know why the prosecutor asked or put it to him that he has more than one account in South Africa?
We need to understand the variation between a when you are defining an account as a transactional account. When you say an account in general, you mean there is an account, but you are not being specific. So in this regard, you asked me, he has a transactional account.
Okay.
So, and I didn't testify that he had a transactional. I'm simply saying, yes, we are aware that he has an account, but I cannot confirm because I don't have the records of that account in my hands.
All right. How many accounts does he have in South Africa?
I testified, we know that he has Standard Bank, and we received information that he had at FNB. We know that 2 of his vehicles are financed by one, I believe is Nedbank, another one is Absa. And all those are accounts, even for the vehicles. It's only when one now goes into defining them.
Okay. You know for a fact there's a South African Standard Bank account that has never been denied by Mr. Willemse. But you have intelligence that he has got an FNB account. What does that mean in layman terms? What is you have intelligence? What is that?
You must understand that intelligence sometimes it can refer to even accounts that were closed before.
All right.
So that is why I'm saying, as far as we are concerned, our records is, and that is the intelligence we received, but we don't know whether the account is active or not.
So factually, as a matter of fact, you stand before court confirming, as a matter of fact, not intelligence, as a fact, that he has a Standard Bank account in South Africa, correct?
That's what you are confirming.
I'm asking whether it's true. Is that what you are saying?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Willemse informed the court that there's a reason why he has that account because, one, his children are there studying. Do you dispute that his children are studying there?
I don't dispute that.
Furthermore, the accounts for the vehicle is there because he bought the vehicles in South Africa and the banks are the lawful owners until such time as he becomes the lawful owner when he pays it off. Do you dispute that?
I believe that is the common practice. I mean, if the vehicle is financed on hire purchase, so.
Common practice for who?
For all the financial institutions. I mean, if the vehicle is financed on hire purchase, until you settle it, it belongs to them.
Mr. Willemse also informed the court that he cannot transfer that vehicles to Namibia because it has been financed by South African banks. Can you dispute that?
No, I can't dispute that.
Mr. Willemse further testified that the other reason why the money is, why as a South African account is policies, insurances, all of them goes off in the South African account. Can you dispute that?
Although I cannot dispute that, it just shows how strong roots he has in South Africa. You know, everything else that you are busy telling me just shows that, you know, even if he wants to relocate, there's no need to change lifestyle. He simply moves from here, he's at home in South Africa. Everything is already there. Insurance policies, vehicles.
Can the mighty ACC go get him there?
Your Worship, you know we even have a current problem with one of our suspects in South Africa, and this is why we want to make sure that he stands trial.
Is it possible if Mr. Willemse run away to South Africa that you can have him arrested there and sent back to Namibia?
We have arrested him here. We don't. That is what we are trying to avoid because there's too much problem. I mean, there's too much delays. We want to finalize the case as soon as possible.
There's too much delays. What do you mean with that?
You know, the clerk's case is not a secret, and we don't want a repeat of that.
So you are comparing Mr. de Klerk with Willemse. That should be a headliner.
I'm not comparing. I'm simply setting out an example.
Yes, but why are you using Mr. de Klerk and use him as an example of Mr. Willemse? Did de Klerk have vehicles? Does he have a farm here? Does he have children that was born here? Does he have all those other things also here?
I'm comparing him, or I've made that example because you asked if we can go and arrest him there. And I was just giving you an example to show how difficult it is sometimes to bring people back, especially when somebody wants to evade justice. So we have the opportunity of having him here.
Yes. Mr. Willemse also informed me, or the court rather, that his traveling outside Namibia was for short distances and he has never hid the fact that he's a frequent traveler. But that does not make him a flight risk.
Your Worship, as far as we are concerned, the life of Mr. Willemse has changed the moment we arrested him. So meaning in terms of flight risk, that time he was traveling freely. Right now there's this case which is hanging over his head. So the risk of abscondment and disappearing into South Africa is there.
So are you telling this court that if I have dual citizenship and there's a case pending in the court that I will run? What if Mr. Willemse, on the other side of that coin, want to prove his innocence? Then he will not run.
I have no answer for you because I believe I've answered that one already.
Yes. You were also asked about a situation where Mr. Willemse apparently tried to escape, or there was a plan to escape. Are you aware of that plan to escape while going to the hospital?
Your Worship, I remember I testified to that effect, but not in the tone that you are putting it.
I just want to get your answer. You testified to that effect, but not in the tone?
Not in the tone that you are putting it.
Okay. Let me ask in a softer tone. Did Mr. Willemse tried to escape when going to the hospital?
We did not have that evidence, and I never said that Mr. Williams wanted to escape. I said we believe the chance for escaping was high.
Was there a plan for Mr. Willemse to escape?
I have just answered you.
The answer is no. Correct?
I've answered you that we believed the chances of escaping was high. And there are variables as to why we believed that.
Yes, but was there a plan, Mr. Inambao, for him to escape?
If you believe or you suspect, even if you can't prove, this was a suspicion. This was a suspicion, and as I testified yesterday, hence I agreed to that question which Advocate Lungo was saying. I said, we asked him if he had prescription medicine that he needed to take, and he said, although he confirmed, he didn't take it. So, and for us, that was self-induced.
Okay. Did he plan with Mr. Malunga to escape?
I didn't testify. I didn't give you evidence to that effect, and I don't have an answer for you.
You see, the reason I'm asking the question is when Mr. Willemse testified, that was put to him. He said, I don't want you to be caught off guard, but there was an escape plan with a reservoir that was known to one of the accused persons, Mulunga. That's what is put in.
I believe you can cover those ones when you are doing your closing remarks. And when I put my evidence out here, I put it there and you didn't hear me saying what you are asking me.
Mr. Inambao, please don't point me. Don't point at me.
Some of us, we use body language when we
Yes.
speak.
You
So
should
it's
ask-
not pointing you.
You should may ask that the witness not point at me when he addressed me. For the interest of the court didn't see it, I certainly saw it. And I feel that it is unbecoming of the officer to point me when he talks. I've never pointed to him, make any point to him.
Mr. Inambao, perhaps if you can just reduce your bodily movements of pointing at
Thank you,
Mr.
Worship.
Isaacs.
Yes. No, I can't do it closing remarks. I must ask you what the prosecutor put to my client. The prosecutor also said that when they went to the hospital, there was a Mercedes following this car as part of the plan. What is your answer?
Your Worship, I testified yesterday regarding the Mercedes-Benz, which we stopped at the gate of prisons, and from there we relieved the driver of that vehicle, and myself and the officers escorted Mr. Willemse to the hospital.
Mr. Inambao, let me ask you the question straight then. When on your way from the prison to the hospital, was there a reservoir in a Mercedes-Benz following you?
I've just answered that. I've just answered that. So I'm not going to answer it again.
Worship, sorry, if the court can just read me that answer back, maybe I didn't catch it.
Perhaps you can repeat it, but I do take note that he said that he relieved the vehicle. That's when they traveled to the hospital.
Relief meaning that he left the vehicle.
What do
Maybe
you
we
mean
just
by
get
that?
clarity. So when you left for the hospital, you left the vehicle at the prison.
That's correct. That is where we relieved them from there, and myself and the other officers, including the van in which Mr. Willemse was traveling, we went to the hospital.
Okay, I'm with you there. That is meaning, that evidence is regarding what happened at the prison. I'm asking you, on the way to the hospital, was the Mercedes-Benz following you?
I've just answered you.
You're not answering it. You answered what happened when you relieved them at prison. My question is, what happened after prison?
So if I relieved them, it means we separated our ways from there. And I believe that's what I meant.
Yeah, what you meant and what you say sometimes.
No, they are the same and it hasn't changed.
Okay, so relief means I wasn't followed. Thank you. Mr. Inambao, I have instructions from Mr. Willemse that he hasn't done any misrepresentation whatsoever in the charges to either NAMCOR or any person representing NAMCOR regarding his involvement in the acquisition of the assets loosely referring to as the 9 service stations.
We have placed our evidence before the court and we have demonstrated that there was misrepresentation. The fact that he denies that involvement, which we have demonstrated in those emails where he was instructing Ms. Olivia, it's a clear indication that he was involved, and then therefore the story is telling you is not the truth.
Mr. Willemse denies that he instructed Ms. Olivia because that project falls under the sales and marketing unit. He cannot instruct someone.
That's
because
what
it's not his department.
That's what he's saying. The evidence has shown otherwise.
Mr. Willemse also have instructions that he had the authority to provide fuel above credit limit. And that authority, to review and recommend, but the authority to release the fuel rests with the MD for fuel over 500,000. What do you say to that?
Your Worship, Mr. Willemse has not been charged for not having authority. We are saying he had authority, but he abused that authority. He conspired with the other parties and committed offenses against NAMCOR, therefore causing the exposure in terms of the fuel that was supplied to those entities. The authority, he has always had authority from the time he became the acting executive.
Mr. Willemse also denied that he received any gratification from NAMCOR or Irongo.
Your Worship, evidence has shown otherwise. There are money that was going into his account from directly and indirectly from those entities.
Mr. Willemse further testified that wherever there is a reference of game and meat or beef, it is a transaction between himself and Quality Meat Market, Quality Meat Supplies, for the sale of animals, that is cattle, game, goats, and pigs.
Your Worship, evidence has indicated, especially on the account statement of Quality Meat Supplies, they stopped receiving payments from NWR the first week of June. Between January and July, the first week of July 2022. Between 1 January and the first week of July, there was no payments going to Mr. Willemse. Those payments only started when the very day when NAMCOR signed the agreement, or rather accepted the offer. Rather signed the agreement to sell the assets to NAMCOR. 150 was paid. From there, when this money was paid, when NAMCOR paid the money for the assets, we know 2 transactions were made immediately thereafter. 960 into his personal account, 1,040,000 into his business account. That's evidence.
Are you done?
I have the whole day for you, Mr. Isaac.
Okay. Mr. Willemse, let me ask you this. According to Mr. Willem's testimony, he said the business relationship started in April. The first transaction, or the first payment he received from Quality Meat Supplies was 150,000 on the 15th of July 2022. Because Mr. Quality Meat Supplies has ordered meat and meat products from him during April.
That's what he's saying. Our evidence shows on that day, that's the day when NAMCOR signed the agreement, an agreement which he was instrumental to, and 150,000 was transferred from Irongo, and not from any of the entities owned by Mr. Malima. This came from Irongo, And then it went into quality meat supplies, then into Mr. Willemse's account.
Was there any attempt from either NAMCOR or Irongo to try and settle the debt with NAMCOR, whether it's fuel supply or for the 53 million of the assets? Was there any attempt from them, those two entities?
Yesterday, I remember when you started with cross-examination, you took me to one of the documentation. I believe it's a letter for October 2023. If I'm not mistaken, I'm just thinking, I believe it's October 2023, written by Mr. 5 October.
Yeah.
Written by Mr. Ndewema, if I'm not mistaken, in which they were cancelling. But you can see from the tone of that letter that there was some sort of engagements in order for that debt to be repaid.
Okay. You said, Mr.
The one for 53 million.
Oh, sorry.
I mean.
Thank you. You said Mr. Connie van Wyk, what was his job when payments 1.2 million was paid? Where did he work?
The 1.2 in cash. It's interesting that you are asking me this question, because I was pondering about it myself just now, in a sense that Connie van Wyk was an employee of NAMCOR. And then it's interesting to actually note that if you look at purchase order 117, the 2.9, the jet fuel, that was actually being, so meaning Irongo became the supplier to NAMCOR, and which justifies as to why Connie was making payments to Mr. Willemse. I hope I'm making.
No, I'm just tired. I'm just waiting for you to please
Sure.
to continue.
No, I'm.
What type of employee was he? Was he a CEO, acting CEO?
He was an acting CEO.
My instruction from the accused is that at that time he was only employer and not, as you say, an acting CEO. Do you have a document here that can prove that in terms of the employment he was the acting CEO?
Your Worship, we know that at some point he was appointed as an employee, but in terms of the evidence that we have, he was given access to some of the accounts in the capacity of acting CEO, and therefore he was able to transact from the accounts of EcoFuel and so forth in NAMCOR.
Mr. Inambao, do you have a contract stating that he was the acting CEO or any documentation that he was the CEO?
I just indicated in terms of the resolutions that was sent to the bank, his capacity and the founding statement, his capacity stated as acting CEO.
Where is the resolution?
I'm not sure if it's here, but
where? Here.
Look, we were not here to hear the application against Mr. van Wyk, but that is one of the pieces of evidence that we relied on in the case of Mr. van Wyk.
Just a correction there was no application for bail for Mr. van Wyk.
No, I said in the case, it's one of the evidence we rely on in the case of Mr. against van Wyk. I didn't say an application.
All right. May I just quickly have a approach client?
You may.
Hopefully we'll see in the re-examination that resolution of 2022. Just for completeness sake, the medical report said was handed in by consent. Maybe I'll just end it in before I forget. Other than that, Your Worship, that would be cross-examination.
Is this to be made an exhibit?
Yes, we said we will hand in by consent. If that's still the case with the state, otherwise they can need evidence.
As we have indicated, Your Worship, we do not have a problem. The document can be received. I've had regard to it, I've read it, so there is no objection.
Okay, the medical report of Mr. Cornelius Willemse by Dr. A. Deering of CMC Private Hospital is marked Exhibit I.
As it not pleases.
May I have the copies of the passports returned? You may proceed.
Worship, I have no questions on re-examination, and that will also conclude our case for the respondent.
Yes.
There was just a discussion with my colleague with regard to the way forward, that is in relation to the submissions. There was a suggestion by my colleague, Mr. Isaacs, that we intend to do written submissions, which Mr. Isaacs wants to have, since they are the applicants, to have them in on Monday, this coming Monday, which is this coming Tuesday, rather, which is the 23rd of September 2025. And then we, the respondents, have our written submissions in by the 25th of September, which is Thursday. And then it will be up to the court when we have to do the arguments thereafter. Your Worship, may I just say, ask that the witness be excused?
Thank you, Mr. Nambao. You are excused.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Can we just shortly adjourn for 10 minutes?
Right.
You may proceed.
Circumstance of dates after we convened in chambers that rather we have the applicants closing submissions on 26 September 2025, and then the respondents' submissions on the 2nd of October. And then we come back to court for the my apologies. The respondents' submissions on the 1st of October, and then we come back to court on the 7th of October for the arguments.
Mr. Isaacs?
Your Worship, those dates, as indicated by my learned colleague, is indeed correct.
Okay. Okay, it is agreed that the closing submissions of the applicant is to be filed with the clerk of the court on the 26th day of September 2025, and the respondent's closing submissions are to be filed with the clerk of the court on the 1st day of October, and arguments to be heard on the 7th of October. The matter is then adjourned. Applicant, you may stand up. To the 7th of October for argument. You are remanded in custody.
Maybe just the time, Your Worship, as agreed at 9.
I think 9 o'clock, 9 a.m.
That's
for the
correct.
7th of October. We may then adjourn.